Hello everyone and welcome back to IELTS Masterpod. I'm Emma.
And I'm Daniel. Today, we're diving into a crucial topic for IELTS speaking accommodation.
That's right, Daniel. This is a common topic that may appear in all three parts of the IELTS speaking test. We'll break it down with an example interview featuring a candidate named Alice.
Before we jump into the dialogue, let's quickly go over the structure of the speaking test.
The speaking test is divided into three parts. Part 1, Introduction and Interview. This is where the examiner asks general questions about you, such as where you live or what you do. Part 2, the long turn. You'll receive a topic card, have 1 minute to prepare, and then speak for 1 to 2 minutes. Part 3, discussion. The examiner will ask more detailed and abstract questions related to the topic from Part 2.
Now, let's start with some key vocabulary for today's topic: accommodation.
First, we have amenities.
These are facilities that make a place more comfortable, like a gym or swimming pool.
Next is spacious.
It means having a lot of space, like a large living room or open-plan kitchen.
Another useful word is neighborhood.
This refers to the area around where you live, including shops, parks, and schools.
And finally, renovated.
This means repaired or updated, like a freshly painted apartment or a modernized bathroom.
Now, let's imagine Alice in her IELTS speaking test. This is how her Part 1 might go.
Good morning. My name is Jane, and I'll be your examiner today. Can you tell me your full name, please?
Good morning. My name is Alice Brown.
Thank you, Alice. Can you tell me where you live?
I live in a small apartment in the city center. It's close to my university and surrounded by shops and cafes.
Do you work or study?
I'm currently a university student. I'm studying business management.
What do you do in your free time?
In my free time, I enjoy reading books, cooking, and going for walks in the park near my apartment.
Now, let's move on to Part 2, where Alice will receive a topic card. The examiner gives her the following card. Topic card. Describe the kind of accommodation you live in. You should say what type of accommodation it is, what it looks like, how long you have lived there, and explain what you like or dislike about living there.
Alice has been given a topic card, and she has 1 minute to prepare her response. She will have 2 minutes to speak on the topic. Remember, the examiner will stop her once the time is up. Let's hear how Alice responds.
I live in a small apartment in the city center. It's located on the 5th floor of a modern building, which is surrounded by cafes, shops, and a beautiful park. The apartment itself is not very big, but it's cozy and well-designed. It has 2 bedrooms, a small but functional kitchen, a living room, and a balcony. The balcony is one of my favorite features because it offers a great view of the city skyline, especially at night when all the lights are on. I've been living in this apartment for about 2 years with my roommate, who is also my best friend. Sharing the space has been a lot of fun because we get along really well, and we've created a comfortable environment together. The location is incredibly convenient for me because it's just a 10-minute walk to my university, and there's a bus stop right outside the building that makes it easy to get around. What I like most about living here is the sense of community in the neighborhood. There are always people out and about, and the local cafes are great for studying or meeting friends. The apartment is also well lit and has large windows that let in a lot of natural light, which makes the space feel bigger than it actually is. That said, there are a few downsides. For instance, the kitchen is quite small, so it can get crowded if both of us are trying to cook at the same time. Also, the building doesn't have an elevator, which can be a challenge when I'm carrying groceries or feeling tired after a long day. Another issue is the noise from the street, especially during rush hour. Sometimes it's hard to concentrate or relax because of the traffic sounds. Despite these minor inconveniences, I think this apartment suits my needs perfectly as a student. It's affordable, well-located, and provides a comfortable space for studying and relaxing. I've also decorated my room with personal touches like photos, plants, and fairy lights, which make it feel even more like home. Looking ahead, I don't think I'll stay here for a long time because I hope to move to a bigger place once I graduate and start working. However, for now, it's an ideal place for me to live, and I'm really grateful for everything it offers.
All right, thank you, Alice. That's the end of your 2 minutes.
That was a fantastic response. Alice made great use of her time, expanding on the topic with detailed descriptions, personal experiences, and well-structured points.
Absolutely. She gave a clear picture of her living situation, including both positives and negatives, and even talked about her future plans. This is an excellent example of how to use the full 2 minutes effectively.
And remember, listeners, the examiner will stop you when the time is up, so focus on giving a complete and fluent answer within the given time. Keep practicing, and you'll get better at structuring your responses.
Great advice, Emma. That wraps up today's episode on Part 2 of the IELTS speaking test. Stay tuned for our next session, where we'll discuss how to tackle Part 3 questions.
Alice, let's start with some questions about where you live. Can you tell me about the kind of accommodation you live in?
I live in a small apartment in the city center. It's on the 5th floor of a modern building.
Do you live in a house or a flat?
Live in a flat. It has 2 bedrooms, a living room, a kitchen, and a balcony.
Is it a big place?
Not really, but it's comfortable for me and my roommate. The living room is quite spacious, which I like.
Does the place you live in have many amenities?
Yes, it does. The building has a gym and a small rooftop garden. There's also a supermarket on the ground floor, which is very convenient.
What do you like about living there?
I love the location. It's close to my university and surrounded by cafes and parks. The view from the balcony is also amazing.
Is there anything you would like to change about the place you live in?
Well, I wish the kitchen was bigger. I enjoy cooking, and sometimes it feels a bit cramped.
How long have you lived there?
I've been living there for about 2 years now.
Do you plan to live there for a long time?
I'm not sure. I might move to a bigger place after I graduate and start working.
Is there a garden in the place you live in?
There's a small rooftop garden, but I don't use it often. I usually prefer going to the park nearby.
That was a great example, Daniel. Alice gave clear and detailed answers using a mix of vocabulary and personal details.
Yes, and she kept her answers relevant and concise, which is key in Part 1 of the speaking test.
A tip for our listeners: don't just give one-word answers. Try to expand with details, like Alice did. For example, instead of just saying, "I live in a flat," she added information about the rooms and the building.
And remember to use descriptive words like spacious, comfortable, or modern to showcase your vocabulary.
That's it for today's episode. We hope this helps you feel more confident about answering questions on accommodation in your IELTS speaking test.
If you found this useful, don't forget to subscribe and share this episode with friends.
Thanks for tuning in to IELTS MasterPod. See you next time, and good luck with your preparation.
Goodbye, everyone.